Hey, welcome to another episode of Chaz Beer Reviews, a two-parter, and this is a bonus all macro beer review month. So we got 2 in 1. We got Utica Club, and we'll do Utica Club Light right after this. So I was at the Saranac Brewery yesterday in Utica, about 90 miles west of here. Took the tour. They have their their own gift shop, and they have some. They do a mix of 6-pack there, so instead of getting a whole 6-pack of this, I just bought the one bottle. Although it was like sitting like under like a freaking heating duct, and so it's like where all the beer is. Like it's not in a cooler; it's just like on a like a shelves or whatever. And there's freaking heat blowing on. And I just looked at the date on the bottle here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Now you can't. It says 0294, which in Julian calendar is October 21st. So this bottle is pretty old, which is really weird and really disappointing considering you got it straight from the brewery. Should just go down to the beer store and probably get a fresh can there. So anyways, this is a re-review. Jay and I reviewed it a few years ago. So let's get on with it. Generic, kind of pea yellow color, golden, pretty bubbly. Not much of a head. I mean, it had that like one finger, bright white soap suds there. Smells very corny. Kind of smells like, almost smells like musty or something. Like, it's probably, it is old beer. I don't really know what heat damage would smell like, but let's see if it comes through in the taste. Cheers. That is actually not bad. I was kind of like metaphorically, plugging my nose and closing my eyes going into this. I was all ready for the worst, but it was actually not bad. It definitely smells worse than it tastes. It has like that very cheap macro adjunct smell to it. But the taste is very, very clean. It's a very light flavored, obviously. Not much in the way of true, genuine malt character here. It just tastes like fizzy yellow beer. You can get a little bit of sweetness on the end. Nothing in the way of real hop character. You can get, I don't know, it had 2 lines of lacing there. That's pretty impressive. This is probably, it kind of reminds me of Miller Lite. It's probably about as good as Miller Lite. Cheap beer for sure, but it doesn't taste ridiculously cheap. Like it's like the Beast Ice or like Rolling Rock, stuff like that. No, diacetyl, 𝓕𝓚𝓬𝓻𝓲𝓷. I don't get any of the green apple on here. Maybe like a faint hint of like starchiness on the end, but otherwise, pretty decent. Really, really surprised. So, wow. Alright, so let's rate this. I think I gave it, when I reviewed it with Jay a few years ago, I think I gave it like a 6. Let's see how it holds up. Well, aroma, it does not smell very good this time around. I'll give it a 5 out of 10 on aroma. Appearance, well, nice. Not much of a head, but it did lace. Nice color, I guess. Maybe a 3 out of 5 on appearance. If it had a bigger head, then I would have given it a 4. Taste, like I said, taste is really not bad. A little bit of sweetness, pretty clean taste. Nothing off about it. I'll get a 5 out of 10 on taste. Palate, well, it's really easy to drink. Nobody really seems to know the ABV on this. I actually asked at the brewery, and I had like 3 different answers from 3 different people. So it's somewhere between like the high 4 and somewhere, I heard anywhere between 4.8 and 5.5. I think it's closer to like 5.2. Very easy drinking, light, sessionable beer. You could definitely session this, especially in the summer, even though it's might be slightly bigger. But easy drinking, smooth, clean aftertaste. I'd almost give it. I'll give it a 4 out of 5 on palate. There's still not a lot of flavor even if it was 4.8, it should still have more flavor than this. Overall, not bad, really far from impressive or anything. I'll give it a 12 out of 20. I think that's being pretty generous. That's a 2.9, which is a high 4. I'll give it a 4 on appearance to bump it up to a 3. So that's a 5. Yeah, I definitely like this a little bit better than Miller Lite, but not a ton. So, yeah, there you go. 5 out of 10 for Utica Club. And then we're going to roll right into Utica Club Light, so I will see you in a minute. Let's get on with the UC Light. This is my first time ever having it. I didn't even know this beer was still around. I thought it retired it a long time ago. I've never even seen this in Albany. The only time I ever saw this was at the brewery, using the little mason jar here. I thought that was kind of cute. So it's a pale, yeah, it's even paler than the first one, like a white gold color. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, there's bubbles in there, plenty bubbly. Not much of a head. It came up, about a finger. Same thing as the other one. We'll see if it leaves lacing. The other one left lacing. It's kind of the same smell as regular Utica Club, almost like that kind of musty. It's just like it's corn grits, flake maize, whatever you want to call it. No green apple or cooked corn, so that's good. It's mostly inoffensive smell. I mean, it smells. Actually, it's not as strong aroma as some of the other beers I've done this month. So let's get on with it. Cheers. Well, that is definitely light. Wow. I haven't had a beer this light since, I think, Jenny Light, when Henry and I reviewed that like 3 or 4 years ago. I was like, there's like nothing to taste here. That's how this is. It is completely bland, as opposed to being off tasting. It almost kind of tastes like club soda or something. Wow, I mean, how did they get the beer that light? I mean, regular Utica Club is not exactly that strong to begin with. I don't know if this is the same recipe and they just water it down, or if it's a completely different recipe. I mean, it's got to be real similar. Yeah, I mean, wow, that is just really, really bland. It actually kind of reminds me of like Keystone Light. There's something to taste here. I mean, I don't even I can smell the corn more than I can taste it. I mean, it like I said, it tastes like Keystone Light, and kind of like a club soda taste to it, like almost like this sharp, like astringency or maybe some kind of starchiness or something like that. Yeah, this is not very good. I mean, it's not god awful, but I mean, if I was drinking this blind, I think somebody would give me a thing of club soda. I don't really like club soda. I don't like club soda. I don't really have much else to say about this one. Let's rate it real quick. Aroma. Well, I think I give it a. I mean, the aroma is a lot like the taste. Like, it's hardly even there. I'd probably give it a 4 out of 10 on aroma. Appearance. Tiny touch of lacing. Pale color. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 on appearance. Taste. Same thing. I give it a 3 out of 10 on taste. I mean, it doesn't taste bad. It just doesn't really have much taste of it at all. I mean, you gotta have more taste than this to even get a 4 out of me. Palate. Well, I mean, it doesn't say the ABV on here. Rate Beer has it at 3.8. I can believe that. Yeah, I mean, definitely easy drinking session beer, but I would not call it like actual Utica Club that we just reviewed was actually refreshing. This isn't really refreshing. This is almost like insulting. I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5 on palate, just because it's so, like I just said, pointless, I guess. Overall, yeah, I'm going to go pretty low on this one. I'll give it a 10 out of 20. That's a 2.3, which is probably a 2. Yep. That is only a 2. I mean, one thing I've noticed in the last month is even the beers that rate bad really aren't like god awful, except for a couple. But yeah, so there you go. UC Light is getting a 2 out of 10 on Chad's beer reviews. So thanks for watching. Only one more macro beer. It was a highly requested one, so that's coming tomorrow. So stick around for that. So I'll see you then. Cheers.